WWE Backlash 2025 results. Dominik Mysterio beats Penta with help of El Grande Americano. At WWE Backlash 2025, Dominik Mysterio entered the arena with the prestigious Intercontinental Championship slung confidently over his shoulder, a symbol of his undeniable rise through the ranks. However, with that title came the heavy burden of carrying the legacy of the Judgment Day, a faction that had left its mark on WWE, for better or worse. Dominik's clash against the high-flying, hard-hitting Penta El Zero Mito promised to be a battle of skill, will, and grit. What transpired was nothing short of a brutal, high-octane war that left fans in St. Louis on the edge of their seats, reaffirming the Intercontinental title's place among WWE's most coveted prizes. The match began with a palpable sense of tension in the air. Dominik, the brash second-generation star, wasted no time in asserting his dominance. He shoved Penta in the face, a disrespectful gesture that ignited a fiery response. Penta, ever the veteran, retaliated with a thunderous dropkick that rocked the champion back. The action quickly escalated as Penta showed off his agility, launching Dominik with a tilt-a-whirl head scissors that sent him crashing to the mat. Penta, never one to waste an opportunity, followed up with a pop-up superkick that caught Dominik flush in the jaw, sending him reeling. A backstabber followed, and for a brief moment, it seemed like Penta might take control of the match. But Dominik, as he often does, relied on his cunning to regain his composure. A wry grin spread across his face as he quickly gathered himself and utilized his underhanded tactics. With a sadistic smirk, he launched Penta groin first into the top rope, causing the luchador to writhe in pain. Dominik then nailed a slingshot sentence, buying himself time and slowing Penta's momentum. The crowd was firmly against him, but Dominik thrived in this environment. He started to taunt Penta, mocking his high-flying style while laying in stiff strikes, grounding Penta with his brutal ground-and-pound offense. The boos rained down, but Dominik remained unfazed, basking in the jeers as he stayed firmly in control. Yet, Penta was far from done. The masked luchador, fueled by the crowd's energy, began to battle back. A fierce kick to the chest from Penta rocked Dominik, knocking him off balance and allowing Penta to execute a slick reverse sling blade. The tide was beginning to turn, and the fans could feel it. Penta, sensing an opportunity, launched himself to the outside with a massive flying crossbody that took Dominik down hard. The crowd erupted in cheers as Penta quickly followed up with a somersault plancha, crashing into Dominik with explosive force. The air in the arena was electric, and it was clear that Penta was in control. Back inside the ring, Penta wasn't about to let up. With precision and speed, he avoided a 619 attempt from Dominik by delivering a well-timed enzui-giri to the apron, sending the champion staggering. In a seamless transition, Penta unleashed a slingshot crucifix bomb, a move that seemed to have the championship within his grasp. The crowd roared, convinced that Penta was mere seconds away from securing the victory. But Dominik, ever the resilient and resourceful competitor, showed his true grit. As Penta looked to capitalize on his momentum, Dominik countered at the last second, catching Penta off guard and delivering his finishing move, Oblivion. The impact was brutal, and the near fall had the crowd on its feet, gasping for breath. In the final moments, the match descended into complete chaos. Both men were spent, battered, and bruised from the brutal exchange of moves and counters. Penta attempted to finish Dominik with a quick roll-up, but the crafty champion kicked out at the last possible second. The fans were on the edge of their seats, sensing the imminent conclusion of the war that had raged for what felt like an eternity. Dominik, refusing to let go of the title that had become his identity, dug deep into his bag of tricks, pulling off a series of devastating strikes and near falls that had everyone questioning who would walk out victorious. Finally, after a heart-stopping sequence of counters, near falls, and high-risk maneuvers, Dominik found a way to seal the deal. He managed to outlast Penta, hitting him with a surprise roll-up and grabbing the ropes for leverage, a move that ensured his controversial victory. The crowd erupted with boos as the referee's hand slapped the mat 3 times, confirming Dominik's retention of the Intercontinental Championship. Dominik Mysterio, the cocky and calculating champion, walked out of WWE Backlash 2025 still holding the coveted title. but it was clear that this victory came at a price. The brutal war with Penta El Zero Miedo had pushed him to his absolute limits, leaving a lasting reminder of the tenacity and resilience required to survive in WWE. The legacy of the Judgment Day, while firmly intact, had been tested like never before.